Hello everyone, Kanti Tiger here with Bengali Engineering and Play. We are back in Osiris New Dawn. I have done a lot of learning over the last, 7 or 8 hours. And I've discovered a lot of interesting things. The fact that this is in uh, early release, early look, there's a lot of things that need some help. Um, One of the things I've discovered is the habitats, how to do the air and everything within a habitat is kind of interesting. I've also discovered that the outer wall, for example, the windows here, um, the if you put in the windows, you can't put in anything else. Okay, which I didn't know. I'm thinking that it's a window. A window is a window. Um, but it has to be a solid wall if you are going to put something else uh, in it. So I thought it was because of the elevator in the center having issues, but no, it's actually the outer edge. So anyway, I'm standing in the elevator. I'm on the second floor of 3. If you look out the windows there, you see that kind of grid-looking thing. That's actually an electrical grid that is protecting the base. Um, so, well, anyway. So I want to go to the ground floor in this case. It's still open down here. So one of the things I wanted to do is just kind of demonstrate how this is going. So everything else is done. In fact, let's go ahead and go in. Whoa. So there's a lot of stuff still missing. So I got the biodome put on, and then all the smart bins. You can put up to 6 smart bins. I have not put any soil in them, and so I've got a little ways to go on the biodome. So this is an exit here. There's actually 2 exits, and then this was the first room I built, and I finally figured out that with the solid walls on the outside, then you can do whatever you want inside. So I had 5 lockers in here, and these are actually 48 slot lockers, so they're just slightly bigger than the depository. So these are the largest of the lockers available. This is a kitchen. This is the oxygenator, which oxygenates this area, and I wasn't really sure, because when I walked into the next space where you see the fabrication table there in the center, it kept telling me I'm going outside of the oxygenated zone. So I don't know exactly what that was. If is it limited to 2? I don't know. So anyway, so there was an oxygenator in here. There is a climate controller in here, which doesn't really seem to be doing anything. As you can see, it's negative 24.9. And then a water reclaimer. So the water reclaimer, of course, is you drink from it. You can't fill up vessels with it, but you can drink from it. So kind of a good thing there. The barracks here. So what I did was, it's got the couch so you can relax. It's got the computer desk over here so you can decrypt if you need to. The shower. And there are 2 beds. So this is the other exit, entrance, exit, however you want to look at it. So let's go ahead, we'll go out here. So this is this electrical dome. It is kind of hard to see, but there's a mechanism right in the center that's projecting this dome, and the dome is protecting everything inside. So these are 3 gaseous tanks. Oh, sorry. So this one here is the oxygen tank, hydrogen tank 1, and hydrogen tank 2. So my thought here was that I would be able to create water very easily with that. This is the outside of the barracks. This is a turret. I have yet to see this turret actually do anything. There's 2 of these turrets. There's actually one on the other side as well, and I literally have not seen it do anything. So this is water. Oops, I did not rename this. So water. I originally had named it, and then I tore that one down and moved it. Right. So from the water tank, so it's 100%. So this is what happens when these guys come screaming in, is that electrical field just kills them dead. Done. Anyway, we have a forge here which takes all the raw metallic materials and turns them into ingots. Oh, sorry. I have 2 depositories over here. The idea was just to have all of my outside stuff. In fact, this bottom one is storing all of the barrels and all of the empty glass containers. So I discovered that the vehicles actually run on hydrazine, which is nitrogen and hydrogen, just like water is oxygen and hydrogen. So nitrogen and hydrogen. So 3 solar panels over here, just for power, because the sphere generator there needs power. So that's what that was. Chem station, I just had a chem station outside so I could more easily deal with either the hydrazine or water, whatever I wanted. I wouldn't have to go inside to deal with that if I didn't want to. And then this tank is hydrazine, so I can use the same water vessels if I want to. Alright, so out here is the vehicle. I built the building here to keep the rover out of the weather, which is what I wanted to do. And then this is all the parts and pieces that I need to build anything in the laboratory. And the laboratory here is what you use to build all the different vehicles. of iterations there. Clearly out of power. One of the things I've noticed, so I discovered that you can dramatically increase this particular thing. So what I did was set him to mine. Now the problem with the droid mining is they'll do it for 3 or 4 evolutions and then stop. So I don't know exactly why that does what it does. The other good thing about this particular droid is it will go to the closest depositories, and oh, okay, it did. So kind of hard to see with the dome all lit up like that, but so we have the biodome over here. We have a turret. It's kind of hard to see. We have the 2 depositories. We have the secondary entrance leading to, you can't see it, but it's actually a habitat area. So the foundry table, I'm not sure, forging table maybe, is in the center of that one. There's a couple lockers. There is the chemistry table is in there, and a oxygenator. So that's what pressurizes that particular area there. So behind that you see that 3-level habitat thing that I'm just being creative. I wanted to see if I could figure out how to make those work. So the upper 2 levels are kind of useless because they're all windows, so you cannot do anything in there. You can't put any furniture or anything like that in there. So 78% of items carried. I don't know why it was 78%. Alright. So this is the other main habitat, Alright, so somewhere up here Droid 1, which is the one I just fixed, Droid 2 should be somewhere up here. Droid 3, let's map. Oops. Is up here somewhere. See, what I want to do is look here and see. 15%. That's not too bad. So I want to find the droid. The droid is either destroyed or the droid status? Energy 5%, so it is almost dead. 6 meters. Why it is way over here. It is. Oh. Droid 4, coming all the way up here. Alright, so some things I need to do with this droid here is refuel. Refuel ahead of time, huh? Alright. You need to follow me because you are doing something else, and I'll come back to that one in a minute. So these are all copper, precious metal, and I didn't see what this one was. Alright, so N, we will set the target. I'm just going to set it really big here. The droid there is going to go to the closest drop-off, the closest depository, which happens to be over here. That's those ones that we passed on the way up. This guy is just bobbing around the corner. I don't know what the heck he's doing. So I can actually see, because what I want to do is encompass as many of these as I can. Like this. There we go. Alright. It died. Up here on my little mound, because that was was actually very, worked very well. Alright, so that encompasses all of these right here, which is great. Oh, heavy weapons. Heavy weapons are nice. Alright, so, droid 1 and 2, I think I got fully decked out. Droid 4, on the other hand, I did not complete. So he's not as capable, which that should be 2 right there. Droid 4. Moving to patrol area. He's right there. Jason. And it can go a lot faster than I can. So what I want to do is do the upgrade while I'm here. Oh, come on. Alright, well, I'll find it when it dies. So what I have not done yet is it just runs right into the thing. And these big worms, they come like every 2 to 3 minutes. So I finally turned myself invulnerable because they just, you know, I'm trying to play to have fun, not to get killed every, 2 or 3 minutes. So, and then these guys will actually disappear, like that, after a couple seconds, usually, 20 to 30 seconds. So one of the things that I wanted to do here was put up the shock wall, and it's kind of one of these, where do you put it kind of thing. Do I put flooring on which I suppose I could, and then put the shock wall on the top of the flooring, and then you would have like a walkway around the outside. That might actually look kind of neat. Or do I just put it on the ground and leave it? So the other thing I have not done here is put any power over here. The building itself doesn't need any power, and you know the depositories are self-powered, and the rover is powered by hydrogen. So everything is good there. All right, so trying to think if I want to go ahead and be a little creative here. So if I put the industrial flooring, interestingly enough, so if we look at industrial flooring, it takes one rubber and one steel, right? So here's another one, industrial floor 2. 2 steel, 1 rubber. 2 steel, 1 rubber. 2 steel, 1 rubber. Paneled floor, 2 steel, 1 rubber. 2 steel, 1 rubber. Armored floor, 2 steel, 1 rubber. So there's no real differential in building anything, but these armored floors are the most durable, so that's kind of where I was going with it. So So if I were really planning ahead, I would have not put those skirts on the bottom over there. Alright, so having done this side, here's what I would like to do next. See, there's another one of the giant worms. Vessel has vanished. Yep. The rover. And I think that is the result of that worm. That it gets damaged and more damaged and more damaged and more damaged, and then it dies. So that's what I'm guessing. I've built a couple of these things several times, so I really don't like the worm. But I think it lives here. So I think I was the idiot who built the base right here. So okay, they should be in here. So, plutonium. Alright. Let me look at that again. So, Steel, rubber, plutonium, and glass. Steel, rubber, a lot of steel. Steel, rubber, plutonium, glass. I have quite a bit of steel, rubber, but no plutonium. So, let's go and get plutonium. Actually got quite a bit of steel there. So what I may do is actually put another skirt on the outside. I mean, I've already wasted the resources underneath, but I don't really mind. I'll use a realism thing. All right. It'll snap to the center. Well, I guess as they say, it is what it is. Hoping it would. Not entirely how I envisioned this thing working, but I oopsed.
Rare dehydration detected.
Alright, so I need and it does kill him. Kills him dead. I like that. Right, I need to get tap. And it is this one that goes on here. So that one's not going to be able to work because the corner of the building is in the way. So to use this one, I would have to come out one more beyond the end of the building, which doesn't need to happen. Alright. Doing the same weird stuff. Not sure why, but you need to put the floor in anyway. So, flooring, which is my armor floor 2. Huh. Not going to let me put that there. Took me a little while to figure out the building mechanism here. It was a little bit challenging.
Their dehydration detected.
Just to get it pointed in all the right directions. So thankfully, they are pretty good sized, so you're not just, putting out, a meter square, something or other. Now, what I could possibly do is, I don't know if this will fit up this side or not, so we may have to take this one off. It just depends on, will that...
Serious dehydration detected.
The real test here is, will the electrical thing go on here? And it may not. Alright, so escape 5, which is and B, and tab, we'll put the floor on, yep. So, I don't know entirely what was wrong there. Alright.
Serious
What
dehydration
I
detected.
do want to do is come back and do. Oh, look at that. We actually connected. Oh, it's not connected. Never mind. That's what it is. I was seeing things. Guessing. Oh, and I'm about out of water.
Hydration levels are now satisfied.
What did I run out of? I have no plates. I run out of glass? I thought I saw glass. Oh, maybe that was the last. Oh, that was the last piece of glass. Okay. I'm from the glass. Glass. And steel. So ideally would be to put, I don't know if it would work or not. So we'll try it. Flooring. So I was kind of thinking this was gonna not work. Yeah, and they're all red because the building is in the way. so not entirely what I wanted, but as they say, it is what it is. Alright, and this also, yeah, that's what I kind of thought it was going to be. So, we want this to come out here. Nope. Not gonna do it. Alright, so now that that's pretty much done as far as I can go, change back to the electric fence here. Realize this was offset, but not a worry. Out of glass again. Oh, okay. Alright, so I think This is probably a good stopping point. I need to do the break thing and refill my beverage. My tea is running low. So, this is much more successful than the last experimentation. So, this is Kenty Tiger signing off, and I will see you next time.